Hi there, Casey Healy, Director here at Century 21 Novocastrian, Newcastle, back with you for our Monday wrap, keeping Newcastle investors up to date on what's happening in the current rental market, tips, tricks and strategies to maximise your return on your investment. As always, Nicole joins me, our investor consultant. Morning, Nick.
Morning, welcome back.
Thanks. I'm here just, half of me is here. Yeah, just suffering from a bit of a cold, so we'll get through it.
Yeah.
Get pushing on.
As we do.
We're chatting current rental market, and I think it's not all what you read or you hear in the media. I know I was listening to the news last night, which told everyone that there's a 1% vacancy rate in New South Wales, which is probably correct, but when is that correct? Because that would have been up until the 30th of June. It's not really taking into effect July because that can't be recorded on at the moment. And we've seen a complete change in the market over the last 3-week period. At the moment, our average days on market's increased, so it was at 6 point.
Yeah, we were averaging between 6.4 and 7.4, but in the last 30 days, we've actually jumped up to just over 10.
So that's massive. We have more properties on the market than we've ever had for lease in probably the last 2 years, maybe even 3. So we've currently got 14 properties on the market for lease. So the market is changing and you need to be aware of that and be educated and really comparing against current properties for lease. At the moment, we're seeing that the rent increase notices that would have previously been issued for higher amounts, they're starting to pull back a little bit. And properties, if you were leased, say 12 months ago, you may actually even need to reduce that rent if you're reletting in today's market.
Oh, 100%. And I think, you've just mentioned about comparing other properties on there. So, and I think we've had that 12-month period where we have been able to go for that higher rent because everyone was in a line.
Yep.
But, as investors, we do need to be ready to make those adjustments regardless of what timing it is.
Yeah, and obviously as an investor, you're concerned with interest rate increases, which are happening regularly and probably will for the next few months at least, if not a little bit longer. If we take into consideration what the rental market has done over the last 2 years and the amount of increase we've seen in that rental market compared to what now we're seeing in interest rate increases, you're still on the better foot, you're still well off.
Yeah.
So I think you've just got to really look at it as a holistic view, not just what's happening right now.
Yeah.
What are the numbers?
So in the last 7 days, we had 21 inspections scheduled from the team, 108 applications. We leased 6 properties last week. Saturdays opens, obviously the team are processing applications today, but we had 10 properties open on Saturday. So we've experienced that the last couple of weeks. We've had a couple of big days where that was a shift in the market where we haven't had the stock on hand to do those big Saturdays. So,
and look, I'm going to be honest, there was a couple of properties there was no one through.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that in a long time. Applications are dropping, so the amount of applications per property is dropping, and the quality in those applications and the affordability of being able to meet that affordability ratio for the property, that's dropping as well. So be ready to move, act on what the market's doing and really be comparable in this current rental market, because a week's lost rent over a 12-month period, on average, say your weekly rent's about $500 a week, it's $10 a week. So if you're going to sit there vacant for 2 and 3 weeks, you might as well drop the $30 a week rent and have someone in the property that's looking after it, that's maintaining it, so you don't have to do the lawns and everything like that while it sits there vacant.
Yeah, and that overall in that 12-month period, that's where your costs are going to come from.
Yeah, that's right. So that's us on a current update on what's happening on the ground here in Newcastle in the rental market. So if you've got questions in relation to what we're experiencing or have questions about your property that's not leasing, let's have the conversations now and ensure that you are finding a right tenant and a quality tenant, that your property is getting leased in a reasonable amount of time. I'm Casey Healy, Director here at Century 21.
I'm Nicole, Hoare, Investor Consultant within our team, and we will talk to you next week.
See ya.
Bye.